Dear students, today we are here with your worksheet number 21 of chapter number 12 electricity. First of all, I'll say please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel The Kingdom of Education so that I could make more and more videos for you and provide you more useful information related to your content and chapters of science. Now look at your worksheet number 21. It's of date 21 August. Science about the heating effects of electric current. Let's read it out. It says if an electric current is purely resistive, the source of energy continually gets dissipated entirely in the form of heat. For example, if you keep switch on your bulb for a long time, it starts producing heating effect also. It gets hot, you can't touch it that time, so at that time energy is getting dissipated in the form of heat, and this is called as heating effect of electric current. Okay, consider a current I is flowing through resistor of resistance R. Potential difference is BV. Let T is the time during which the Q charge is flowing through it. The work done in moving the charge Q through potential difference V is VQ that we have read earlier. Therefore, the source must supply energy equal to VQ in time t. Okay, hence the power input to the circuit by the source is P is equal to V into Q upon T. Now we know that Q is what? Q upon T is equal to I. Q is your charge and T is your time. Okay, you know that it is I as Coulomb's law, through Coulomb's law. Now energy supplied to the circuit by the source in the time t is equal to E is equal to P into T. Important, this is an important. Okay, this is also important. Here from here we got P is equal to V into I. Okay, now putting the value of P in it, so we get E is equal to VIT. Okay, since energy is equivalent to the heat produced, therefore E is equal to H. As we know that it is the heating effect of the current, so it is equal to H. So therefore the equation becomes H is equal to V. H is equal to V multiplied by I multiplied by T. Okay, so using Ohm's law, we'll put the Ohm's law in it. We get H is equal to I square RT. That is known as Joule's law of heating. Here, it is the work done, okay, in moving the charge Q through the potential difference V. Okay, in time, it as it was, we are considering time t. We can look at here also. P is equal to V into Q upon T, and it is I. Therefore, we get P is equal to V into I. Now we know that energy is dissipated for P into T. Now it's here. Putting the value of P here, we get V into I into T. Okay. Now energy is dissipated in the form of heat, therefore we will write H instead of E, V into I into T. Now we know that V is equal to what? As we know that we'll write Ohm's law here, applying Ohm's law. we know that V is equal to IR. So putting the value of V in it, we get H is equal to I into R into I into T. We getting the square of I, so we get H is equal to I square. We'll write it in green red pen so that you can make it clear. I square RT. Okay, so this is your Joule's law of heating. Okay, so moving further, we know that Joule's law of heating, it states that the heat produced in the resistor, the heat produced in the resistor is, this is your equation now, is directly proportional to I square, square of current, directly proportional to R. Okay, R is what, resistance for the given current, and directly proportional to the time for which the current flows through the conductor. It means that more the time the bulb will be your switch on, the more will be your heating effect, more will be the resistance, more will be the heating effect, and if more will be the current is passing through it, then more will be the heating effect. So we get the equation H is equal to I square RT. So this is your Joule's law of heating. Now moving further, it's your electric power now. Electric power, the rate at which electric energy is consumed or dissipated in an electric circuit. The rate means it is counted by time now. Okay, P is equal to VI, you know. Okay, now P is equal to I square R. By applying Ohm's law, as we know that V is equal to IR, we get this equation. Okay, we can also write here V square R. How we can write? Look at it. P is equal to VI. Now we can apply the Ohm's law in two ways. V is equal to IR, or I is equal to V upon R. Putting this value, we'll get P is equal to I square R, and putting this value, we'll get P is equal to V square upon R. So we can have two equations, similar equations from here, like this and this. Okay, similar equations. The SI unit of power is watt, represented by capital W. 1 watt is 1 watt into 1 ampere. It means when 1 ampere of current is flowing through the conductor having potential difference of 1 volt. The commercial unit of electric energy is counted in kWh, that is kilowatt hours. Kilowatt hours means 1 watt multiplied by 1 hour multiplied by 1000. 1000 stands for kilowatt hour. Okay, 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 to power 6 joules of energy, and it is called as 1 unit. 1 kilowatt hour is called as 1 unit. You might have listened, you might have heard your father or mother would say this much units has come in your electric bill this time, and these units are being consumed, this much units are being consumed. These units stands for your 1 kilowatt hour. If somebody is saying that 250 units are being consumed in your 1 month of electricity bill, then it means that 250 kilowatt hours. Okay, it is equal to 1 unit. Now moving further, we get relationship between commercial unit, and SI unit of energy. We know that 1 kilowatt hour, as I told you, 1000, K stands for 1000 watt, into hours. Hours, we are converting the hours into 1 hour is equal to, you know that, 3600 second. So we get this energy from that. It was the derivation of this equation. Now here is an example also given. An electric bulb is connected to 220 volt generator. Voltage is given here. The current I is given here. Voltage V, current I is 0.5 ampere. What is the power? We know that power, the formula of power is V into I. So very simple it is. We will multiply it and we'll get this answer. The unit of power is watt, so we'll write the answer is 110 in watt. Now moving further, we are having the applications of heating effect of electric current. Heating effect is desirable in devices like electric heater, electric iron, electric bulb, electric fuse, etc. Actually, it is desirable. Why is it is desirable in these devices? Because we need to heat anything. Okay, in electric iron we have to iron our clothes. In heater we have to warm up our dish, our foods, and in electric bulb it's a heating effect, it warm up our room. So electric fuse, we'll discuss it later on. So these are the desirable, but in some of things it is not desirable. Okay, in electric bulb most of the power consumed by the filament appear as heat, and a small part of it is radiated in the form of light. If you switch on electric bulb, the power is being given to you through the main circuit, and if you switch on the light or your bulb, then most of the power it is consuming, it appears as heat, and a very little of part it is radiated as in the form of light energy that is being radiated by that bulb. Okay, now what about the filament of electric bulb? It is made up of tungsten metal. It is made up of tungsten, very important from examination point of view, as it does not oxidize readily at high temperature. You know, when it will be switch when your electric bulb will be switched on a very long time, it will get high temperature. So at that time there are chances of oxidization of your tungsten, your filament, but your filament. But tungsten is that type of element or metal that do not oxidize readily at high temperatures also. So, and another main point is it is having high melting point of about 3380 degrees Celsius, so that it can uphold very high temperature very easily. The bulbs are filled with chemically inactive gases like nitrogen and argon to prolong the life of filament. These gases are inert in nature, so they do not react with any gases, other gases. Okay, now moving further, what is your electric fuse? Electric fuse, it is a safety device that protects our electrical appliances in case of short circuit or overloading. You might have heard your the fuse has gone off in your home. Okay, it protects our devices actually to which our main circuit is being attached. Okay, in case of short circuit also, or in case of overloading, it do not allow to pass the electric current to our devices. Fuse wire actually is made up of metal or alloy of appropriate melting point, and most probably its low melting point. For example, aluminium, copper, iron, lead, etc. Whenever there is high electric current in the main switchboard, then it will melt and break the circuit like this. Like, consider this is a fuse wire. consider this is your main switch and high current is flowing through it, then at high current it will melt and break the circuit and will not allow the electric current to pass to your devices, thus preventing them from getting fused or destroyed. Okay, so fuse is always connected in series with live wire. Okay, current capacity of fuse is slightly higher than that of the appliance. It should be higher, definitely, because otherwise it won't be able to upstand it. Okay, so this is your electric fuse. Now there are question answers. First of all is explain the Joule's law of heating. Now you will write the Joule's law of heating from this your worksheet only. Okay, from here Joule's law of heating, we will write whole of the part to up to this part as your answer number 1. Okay, so this is your Joule's law of heating. You can also write this part also in your answer 1, what it states. Okay, now another is your how does fuse wire protect the electrical appliances. Very easy. This is your how it prevents. In case of you will write from here, this is a heated device. It prevents appliances in case of short circuit or overloading. It is made up of lead. It, you will say when current of high voltage, I'll write it on when current of high voltage comes through main switchboard, then fuse wire breaks down the circuit by melting. Okay, this is how it prevents our appliances from getting destroyed. Now again, why is tungsten used more exclusively as for filaments in electric bulbs or lamps? We can write it from here only. Okay, this is the answer. The filament of electric bulb made tungsten because it does not oxidize and it has high melting point. So this is your answer number 3. Okay, now moving to our question number 4. A fuse wire is connected to a live wire. Definitely it is connected to a live wire, yes, and it is connected in fact series to live wire. Okay, now which uses more energy, 250-watt TV set in 1 hour or 1200-watt toaster in 10 minutes? We will do this question number 5. Now power of TV, it is 250 watt and you can write it P1 only. Okay, time taken time taken by TV is 1 hour. 1 hour means 3600 seconds. Okay, so we will multiply it. uh, Sorry, we'll not multiply. First we'll calculate both, then we'll multiply here. Okay, we can say now we'll calculate the time taken for toaster. Power of toaster P2 is equal to 1200 watt. Time given is T2, either you can write T1 and now T2 is equal to 10 minutes only, is equal to 10 into 60 is equal to 600 seconds. Now we'll calculate your for TV set and for toaster here. Formula is same. E is equal to E or H is equal to P into T. Now here it is for P1 T1 and E is equal to P2 into T2. We will get 25 250 into 3600 T1. We get this much joules of energy. We can write it like this: 9 into 10 to power 5 joules. Okay, so this much energy is being utilized by your TV set. We will calculate your energy utilized by toaster here. 1200 into 600 is equal to this much. Okay, sorry, this much. And joules, we can write 7.2 into 10 to power 5 joules. So energy consumed by TV is more. You see, it consumes more energy. Okay, so this was your worksheet number 21. When your another worksheet will come, we'll discuss it later on. Till then, stay safe and keep smiling.